everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tap House Talks, brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. When you book with them, it costs you nothing extra on your trip, and you help support the channel and all the content that we produce here. Check them out, dreamsunlimitedtravel.com, for a free, no obligation quote today. It's also brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Hey, this one's for you, because you know what? We couldn't do this without you. Thank you for all of your support. If you want to learn more about how you can support us, head over to patreon.com/DISUnlimited today. Well, I am here at my Walt Disney World happy place, which is Baseline Tap Outs. It actually has been so long for me, I don't even know the last time I was here. Like, whoa. 3 weeks? Ooh. Like, what?
Who are you? Are you sick?
I know.
Okay?
I have two very special guests joining me for a fun conversation today.
Who could it be?
Yeah, who could it be now? Who get it? Who get it? Who get it? It's Hannah and Chloe.
It's our first time here all together, you guys.
Hey,
yeah,
that's
I
cool.
know.
That's special.
Sorry, I was moving the camera just a little bit there. If you're watching this, I was probably making a weird face. Yes, thank you for joining us.
What happens on the show.
Hey, what happens on the show
stays
on this show.
All right, well, cheers.
Cheers to that.
Not
hey,
true,
wait, cheers to all of
Cheers to all of you. Cheers to D23 and the memories we made and the sleep we'll get back.
As we go on, we remember. Hey, first of all, first thing we like to do here at Baseline Tap House, what is everybody drinking? Hannah and I have a very special drink.
'Tis the season. Oktoberfest is back, baby, at Baseline Tap House. It is Sierra Nevada. It is brewed in partnership with a brewery in Germany. It is bomb.com. I was in Asheville for 4th of July, and they were brewing it then, and now here it is.
Yeah.
I even bought some of this at my local Publix. So,
if you are wondering why is that brewery here, well, it's because it's also in California. In Chico, California. It is a 5.5% ABV. It's nice, it's light, it's drinkable. It's got that slightest hint of that like fall season. I think it's the perfect beer to bring us into that.
I got my tried and true Sierra Nevada hazy little thing, which I believe is a 6.7%.
It is. You're right, Chloe. Good for you. Wow.
Thank you, my favorite.
Wow.
It is. Yeah, it's my favorite here. So I don't stray away regardless of seasonal options, but I am going to try and mooch off my friends here.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
and we are splitting the pretzel we went with today.
Yes.
If you do or do not know this, we all three of us here love this place, and we always go with either a pretzel or a charcuterie board.
Or
today
both
the coin flip was sometimes both.
I know,
really.
I call for both guys.
Honestly, we should have got. There's some days you're like, oh, was I sweating too much to drink? Like, what do I want? Like, so.
The pretzel's always a winner. Like we were saying that it was a little dried out this time. It's still good.
It's still the cheese
still good.
And
that
mustard.
Cheese sauce.
Well, what are we talking about today?
Oh, okay. So we're going to talk about D23, which we've done a lot of. But this time, we're going to talk about the D23 announcements we didn't get that we wanted to get. Okay?
Ones we didn't get that we wanted to get. Yes. And that, it's one of those. It's been a while. It's been by the time this video is published, it'll have been at least a week. Assuming I put this out when I think I'm putting this out.
Which is years in what it feels like since D23.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. Isn't it weird that, like, as of recording this, it's only a couple of days since we got back from California? But I'm also like, that was like 2 months ago. Yeah, like,
oh my goodness.
It's wild.
So much happened.
But overall, we've spoken about the event on our DIS Unlimited podcast and given some of our recap and things like that. But yeah, we've had more time to sit and ruminate with some of the things, and we came up with a little bit of a list where we were like, hey, what did happen to that thing?
Wait a second.
Yeah, so what do we want to start with? What's the biggest thing that you feel like you thought you were going to hear that you didn't hear? I think we're all thinking the same thing on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Disneyland.
Tomorrowland.
I didn't say it because it's just too much pressure.
So I did this.
Tomorrow.
We got a lot of announcements about Walt Disney World, which is great for us Floridians.
Right.
But I was fully expecting to hear about the big old Tomorrowland revitalization, which not to say that it's not happening.
That great big beautiful tomorrow. Oh God, there's a B.
That sounded like a Jamie Lee Curtis quote almost.
Oh my gosh.
Legend ceremony.
That's a whole other subject. Yeah. Those legend ceremony speeches. Anyways, no, the Carousel Progress building is sitting not empty, but it has some things that can easily be replaced.
Lounge right
DVC
now?
Lounge, Darth Vader meet and greet. We've got the Magic Eye Theater, Innovention sitting empty. We've got the People Mover
What's
track.
the Magic Eye Theater? Do you literally stare at pictures and try to get the 3D?
No, it used to have Captain EO, Ryno in it. It's got nothing in it
and
now.
it has nothing now.
No.
Yeah.
The last thing they had, I think, was a Guardians of the Galaxy movie preview in it, but there's nothing now.
Wait, at Disneyland?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Where is that?
Wow.
It's right next to Space Mountain on the right side.
Yeah.
I don't think I even knew there was a thing over there.
There's a full-on
where you exit,
and the
right?
Innovations.
I had no clue there was even a structure in there.
And of course,
I know, but I never did.
Visible structure of the People Mover track that people are clamoring for the return of.
For sure.
Something.
I don't think that's going to happen, though.
I don't either, but I also am like,
I think they can make it happen if they wanted to.
I do too.
So,
well, after the
one thing we have.
yeah.
The one Carousel of Progress and People Mover.
Well, and I do feel like they had a lot of announcements this year that were very fan focused. That it seems like it could be. It doesn't feel like it's out of the realm of possibilities, but it does feel like it would be a much more significant investment than I think what people are prepared to understand or accept. And I think that's where Disney is like, why would we bring back this thing that is literally of people moving them around, that has no IP tie-in, that has no whatever. So I think it's like it's definitely in the high risk for them in terms of ROI. But I'm not saying it's not on the table.
Disneyland's a different market. Disneyland's a different market.
Exactly. I think the fan base is different. There's a lot more locals, and it doesn't need IP. For the People Mover to return would be huge for.
So, what would you have liked to have heard about Walt Disney World's Tomorrowland? Because we technically have had a major update. What did I say?
No, I'm just laughing about the thought of that.
The bee?
The bee also.
There is a bee circling around just waiting.
He'll be back to give his opinion. He's upset about Bug's Life.
But that is that thing where it is like we just had the significant expansion with Tron.
Yeah.
And so I'm just wondering, like, what would you have thought we would have gotten here? I'm shocked, personally, why they're having cars and weren't like Indy Speedway closing tomorrow.
Yes, and Stitch's Great Escape is just sitting
there. And also with the announcement of Monsters Land coming to this park, which we will touch on later, what's going on Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor? Because that's going to be kind of redundant in the future.
Right.
Yeah, but we have, how many aerial rides do we have at Walt Disney World at this point? There's a show, there's a ride, the end, I guess.
I know. But are we like jumping ahead? Is the Ariel the show going to happen?
I know, they didn't even talk about it. So is that going to happen? Is that?
Well, we are sitting here at Disney's Hollywood Studios in the area of the future Monstropolis, I think.
No, that's your vote?
I hope to God not. If it means giving up.
What do you think before we cry?
My gut says it would be absolutely foolish to put it in Muppets, and I mean, detaching myself from the property completely. You have a giant swath of area in this park that has animation courtyard, a building that literally only is standing because they were like, well, we have somewhere to put in a preview center for Galaxy's Edge that opened in 2019.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 years ago. And then none of the kids stuff is open over there anymore. And here's the thing, though, they can't go past Brown Derby because the Club 33 lounge is up there, and they can't close that lounge. I'm sure.
That's the smallest lounge.
I agree, and it was a pre-existing lounge. So if they could build a new one, would it be worth it to close? But there's buildings in the back that could be moved, stations that can be moved, and I say get rid of Ariel. I say get rid of One Man Stream. Monsters Inc. should be pushed up right up against Toy Story and make it the Pixar side of the land. I'm not saying we can't move that into a new area and do kind of what Disneyland's doing with their Walt Disney attraction with the animatronic. Give us something like that somewhere else, I'm
like, nah, just for Disneyland.
But we're getting an Indiana Jones attraction. We don't need the stunt show either. Okay.
I know, I was shocked that, I'll be honest, that was my biggest disappointment from D23 is like, I wanted a studio's overhaul because I feel like Indiana Jones, what's going on? I feel like, I'm going to be honest, I love Star Tours, but it's disjointed now. I know, I'm sorry. And even like, I love Muppets, but I'm like, you're not doing it a service with what's over there now. Like, they never reopened the Muppets gift shop. They never reopened the Wonderful Life, the Christmas gift shop. I mean, maybe. I hope not. And I'm with you. Like, I agree. And I feel it in my bones. Animation Courtyard, gone.
I'm honestly terrified for Muppets, not only for monsters, but also if they ever choose to expand Star Wars Land, this is the prime area for them to expand into the park. So this could be another Star Wars area. So I'm always terrified for the fate of Muppets here.
There is still space backwards in Galaxy's Edge, so they don't have to even come this far.
But would they decide to use that instead of why is this even on the table for more?
I don't think they're ever going to expand it. So
I hope they don't. Galaxy's Edge is like
expand. I hope they change it up. Yeah, I hope they change it up because I've talked about it before. I'm over the identical land.
I'd like you know what I would like? A sit-down restaurant, but there's enough space in the land for it.
For sure.
Yes,
would agree.
Absolutely.
So I mean, we can debate till the cows come home, but I really do. Yeah. I do think. I think we got a Library of Congress situation here. If anyone doesn't know, like certain movies that become significant over the years that have cultural significance get added to the Library of Congress, and every now and then, you know, it's random movies where you're like, oh, that movie's randomly in there. You know, Die Hard's in there, I think. You know, like stuff like that.
That's random?
Where you're like, I mean, it's not random. It's culturally significant, right?
Happy Christmas.
Thank you, ma'am.
Don't quote me if that's 100% in there or not, but I'm pretty sure it is. But it is one of those things where it's like, this is the last thing that Jim Henson did, and this is the only Muppets representation that we have. And I'm not saying that you have to keep the entirety of the area dedicated to it.
Well, I think you should, but you should do something with it.
I do still think that area is relevant, and it is a family-friendly, all-ages attraction. Yep. And so my argument there is that a roller coaster is not going to work for toddlers, despite it being a family coaster. And so, I think we should be adding, not taking away. And in that breath, I also think like Little Mermaid, if we remove that and everything that was Animation Courtyard, we wouldn't be losing anything. Yeah. So there are other areas in this park that can be built in that wouldn't lose anything. And I get that it would be cheaper to do it there, but it's still wild that it would be over here. We do have to talk about something else, though. I am so sorry.
Okay,
wait,
one more thing.
But I'm just letting you know.
He's here to give his opinion.
I will be quick, I promise. In the concept art, it's not a kiddie attraction, but they did show kind of like a Sully-themed slide on the left side of Monsters Incorporated, so they are incorporating some kind of playground, it seems like, into the land. I also wanted to touch on what you mentioned about the Jim Henson thing. Him having a presence in theme parks with the Muppets was a dream of his, and he passed away shortly after Muppet Vision happened at Disneyland and then later here. And there was a whole land conceptualized for this park, Muppetville, the Great Muppet Movie Ride that I will never get over. And they just put out that amazing documentary on Disney+.
Award-winning documentary.
Award from Ron Howard. So I know it's not the Parks Division, but still it seems kind of tone deaf to
nominated. My bad.
The camera's moving. It just seems kind of tone deaf almost to release that documentary and then announce that you're closing this, which is like, is that why they didn't talk about the Parks panel?
Sometimes that's a kiss of death. You're like, we're going to give you one farewell, and then I get it. I'm on the same team, but
okay. Enough about this.
All right.
What's another announcement that we feel like? We said Tomorrowland. We're saying that somehow got us into Muppets.
Okay. So, all right, so we'll stick at one park. We're going to stay at Magic Kingdom. Tiana's Palace, what the heck? Why aren't we getting that? What is happening with Pecos Bill? That absolutely needs to be Tiana's Palace. The whole story of that movie is Tiana getting her own restaurant.
Okay.
And it's good at Disneyland.
We need the food over there because the new Pecos Bill's menu is not the greatest.
It hasn't been good in 20 years.
Ryno,
No, let me ask you this. Do you think now, because of the announcement with the Cars Land area, the Cars Frontier Land, do you think that they would be rethemed to be like a Flo's out west?
No.
Because you think it's still, you think they're going to create an alley that you go into?
Yeah, because we still got Country Bear, we still got the saloon. Unless they're completely retheming that, which doesn't seem likely, it's still kind of, like across the way from Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So it makes sense that her restaurant would be right there next to the salt mine where she's
I'm fine with it. I'm just asking you, do you think that's why?
No.
Yeah, no, I don't think
I think it might be coming later, if anything, because Pecos Bills is irrelevant at this point.
I'm hoping it's in the works, and maybe it just wasn't one of the big announcements, you know, so
Destination
maybe...
D23?
I know, maybe next year, right?
Looking at you.
No,
you don't think so?
Well, what else were you hoping for?
Okay. What park? For me, it's easier to go by parks. Let's go to Epcot next.
Well, is that it for Magic Kingdom? Was there anything else you thought? Because we got the nighttime parade. Tomorrowland needs a touch.
Great Escape, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, big question mark, but those aren't the biggest ones for me.
It is funny to me that they announced this massive expansion. Not funny. It's great that they announced a massive expansion. for the park that is the most massive park that has the most to do in it, that you're like, why this park? These other parks need stuff.
I would argue needs the least work.
Yeah, and they keep adding there.
They need more, not replacing. So like, how are we adding capacity to Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, so the thing to me is it's funny there why they wouldn't fix up the one kind of sort of brown spot in the banana a little bit, you know, and instead are like, well, we're gonna, you know, get rid of that. I don't care about Tom Sawyer's Island, so like I don't care about that. It does make me sad that the waterway would go away, like the Rivers of America and stuff like that, because it does add to the. It is this. I think there's sort of this like assumption where it's like, oh, you can't, the parks can't change or the whatever, and I'm like, no, it's just that some people have never seen this like idyllic version of what America looked like to some people, and so it's a very nostalgic look at stuff.
It is nostalgic,
you know. And I get that it's prime real estate, but at the same time, it's like, did it have to go here? But also, yeah, you can get rid of Tom Sawyer's Island. I don't care.
But they could have put Cars Land here, but it wouldn't have been a different Cars Land. It probably would have been exactly what is at DCA, which I don't think I like as much. I like the idea of two different versions.
I do like that, and I wish they had done that with Galaxy's Edge.
Me too. I'm still. I mean, listen. I'll tell you, every day. This is the Disney Hill I would die on. I would trade Galaxy's Edge for Osborne Lights and the Hollywood Studios.
Amen, sister.
Star Wars weekends. Yeah. All that. That was a happy moment in my life. Maybe I'm nostalgic, but.
Well, what's the park we're gonna go to next?
We're going to Epcot.
Okay, so at Epcot. The order of what?
You wrote about in your article about Spaceship Earth. What the heck? When are we going to get details on that?
We got a Spaceship Earth lounge announcement, but what happened with the attraction?
Yeah, remember when they were going to close it and redo it?
Yeah, like
it got
years
shelved
ago.
during COVID.
I don't think they're doing it.
I don't think they are either. But
that's such a shame.
Also, I saw
your park's flagship attraction.
I saw a post online that like put the concept art versus reality together, and it was the Epcot thing, and you were like, ooh.
Yes, maybe lower expectations.
I think what it looks like now is nice, but it was one of those about in relation to Monsters where it was like the concept art is never going to look like what it'll actually look like.
Right.
You're like, fair enough, because they were like, look at Epcot, and you're like, yeah, but there was a global pandemic, so I don't know, but I do think it is weird. So what was it supposed to be rethemed like though? I can't even remember.
It was supposed to have like this light following you, and it was reinterpreted in different ways throughout storytelling because it's still about how communication has brought us together over the years, technology communication. But it showed kind of like this iteration of the grandmother and Moana in a scene with like wayfinding. And
it was going to have IPs in it.
What? Epcot? Never.
And then they showed one concept where it was going through the Egyptian scene and it had like newly illuminated hieroglyphics on the wall, and it looked super cool. I mean, the finale scene is the most disappointing for me right now because they have us just on a screen, on a tablet in our ride vehicle, and then there's just blue stars around us, and there's the ride scenes from a couple of years ago, decades ago at this point, are still there in the dark.
Wait, what?
They haven't replaced
there were
them.
rides there? There was scenes?
There was maquettes there. Yeah.
Right.
What'd you call me? Maquettes.
Ryno, this is not Patreon.
I literally did not hear the word you said.
Maquette, that's the right word, right?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, okay. Maquette.
That's like what they use for the sets, like the...
Like a vignette.
Yeah, vignette.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can talk.
But I had no idea there was stuff there. I don't remember that from when I was a kid. So
yeah. Because it's
I remember like, congratulations, Tommy, you have a new baby sister. Remember that scene where he had?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. That's stuck in my brain. Jeremy Irons ride through forever. There's a ton of stuff there that they just haven't updated.
Okay,
and honestly, the big reveal of Earth at the end, that little planet Earth looks a little dinky at this point. We need to update that with some new technology. We need a huge planet Earth, HD.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, thank you.
So I feel like at Epcot, we also got to talk about the abandoned pavilion, the play pavilion that we were supposed to get.
That one is weird because you're like, they definitely started construction, right? Yes. Like they had to.
Yeah, there were photos.
I don't know that they definitely do that, but they had
screens, like images of screens inside turned on. So I think some things are done, but
that's sad. Well, and they used to. I almost wish, remember festivals back in several years ago, that was a festival space too, and you could go in there and it was still Wonders of Life, but you could go in and it was, you could eat and, do seminars and shopping and stuff. So, what happened to that?
Yeah, I don't know. I always wonder about that. Sorry, the bee's flying around everywhere.
Okay.
Also, I don't want to say in the video what's going on if I'm trying to subtly point something out to you.
Okay. All right,
Yeah,
good,
because then it's recorded and I have to edit it, and I don't like to edit these videos.
Okay.
These are supposed to be nonstop. So
it's also on Prime Real Estate, right next to Guardians, in
Right.
between Mission Space and Test Track. Like that is
It's a huge space.
empty building. It used to have Body Wars and that whole interactive pavilion and a merchandise
I remember
shop,
Body
like,
Wars when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Just think of a Star Tours size attraction in addition to whatever that pavilion is. Like that's a huge footprint that's sitting empty.
I don't know how you both feel about it, but it's one of those, one of my big things that I feel like didn't get announced, and I'm going to say it now just because it's not park specific, but I thought we were going to hear about more Marvel presence getting added to Walt Disney World.
Yes,
and
right.
I think Epcot would have been a good place because I always think, I know a lot of people say, Wakanda could be Animal Kingdom or it could be Epcot, because a lot of people say Animal Kingdom because it's in the continent of Africa. And I'm like,
he's a Black Panther.
yeah, that's fine, but I'm also like, I feel like the whole thing about Black Panther is like cultural and sort of like the people and I feel like the vibe of that movie and what they put out, like that belongs in Epcot.
It's technology.
Yeah,
too,
it's innovation. Yeah, exactly.
And that's where the
so,
Marvel
like,
footprint is.
And I feel like, is Black Panther a property that can't be done here? I don't know the rule. Because Guardians is here, but also that pavilion is like...
There's no characters.
I don't want... There's no life to it.
Right? No animatronics, too,
Right,
which is huge, which they could have done, but...
It's a great ride. Like, it's a great attraction.
Yeah,
no debate on that. It's just my complaint about it is that the pavilion itself has no life to it.
I agree.
Right,
It feels very like...
and go home.
Yeah, it's a display.
Yeah.
And that I don't like. And when you go to like Avengers Campus at Disney California Adventure, which had announcements that we didn't even talk about, that's like about to double in size.
We're not talking about that this week.
I fell asleep during that part of the panel.
But that whole thing is like, why is there nothing else we're gonna get? So I don't know what's going on with that here, but that was my kind of disappointing where I was like, I would have loved to have heard like at least like one more thing, because I'm a Marvel fanboy. That's who I am, and that's where I'm like.
That's true.
And I would love a sort of home base that I can visit, whether it's like a Pim's Test Kitchen here or something like that, because I don't see Ant-Man anywhere at Universal Studios. I don't know. I know the rule is like whatever was represented there, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
Well, I don't
Honestly.
know.
Well, and I'm a little surprised. Like, I feel like and I was especially surprised because Deadpool made an appearance at D23.
Twice.
Yeah, it was like basically the Deadpool show, and obviously that Deadpool and Wolverine is hugely successful. I would have thought. I mean, Deadpool seems like that should be one that they could pull from.
It seems a little soon because the movie just released, but having him incorporated into the parks announcement, it felt very. At Destination D23 last year, they had the Muppets incorporated, so I was already used to them like, yeah, they're just including it to keep it topical, but they're not.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was going to be like the big twist or the big whatever. I'm like, yeah.
I know. I was same, and I think you mentioned about the entertainment announcement. Same thing with Marvel, right? Like how there wasn't.
Yeah, that was another thing. It was like I felt like we saw more and learned more about what we already knew, but even then, not as much. Because like Comic-Con had the whole thing with like Robert Downey Jr. returns to the MCU as Victor Von Doom, and I'm like, okay, so and Comic-Con has happened before D23 before, but in terms of like the Marvel portion of D23 this year, I actually felt like it fell a little short than it normally has in the past. Like I saw all the Avengers lined up on stage together before at D23. I've seen incredible things at D23 from Star Wars, from Marvel, and this year it was kind of like, yeah, we talked about that already.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a bummer. Like, not a bummer, but I was like,
had an interesting point.
I wanted a big twist. I wanted the big, like, I wanted to know more about the next phase of the MCU.
I would agree.
Yeah, I
Even
agree
just
too.
reiterate the, I know they did repeat some of the Comic-Con stuff, but I would have loved if they, like, yeah, we already showed this, but we're showing it to you too, and we're going to show you a little bit more.
Or why wasn't RDJ there? Because he's now featured in an attraction.
Yeah,
and like that would have been.
And
really
they're like,
cool.
oh, don't worry, he's in this weird Kuka Arm attraction that kind of already
Here's a question
existed.
for you, because I know that you're the biggest Marvel fan of the three of us.
Sure.
Do you think that Marvel and Star Wars arguably are in this kind of weird in-between phase before more announcements could come?
I think it is. I think we're in this like weird I mean, Grogu and the Mandalorian is going to bring Star Wars back to the big screen. That's fine.
2026,
I loved The Acolyte, and I know it got review bombed by a lot of gatekeepers and fanboys and whatever. You know, people had issues with it with one way or another, for reasons that I think are absolutely ridiculous. But it's one of those things where I think they're kind of like, I don't know, our experimentation days behind us in terms of these, and we just stick to the tried and true.
I hope not.
And I mean, look at Deadpool and Wolverine. That's not tried and true.
Right.
And that one. So I feel like that should be proof of the other, right?
I feel like that kind of opened up a whole new.
Well, I'm hoping Skeleton Crew blows up because that's also the Stranger Things.
I think it has the potential too, because it is so different.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I am too. Yeah. And they did, I mean, because it was mentioned in the panel, they had like a photo op on the show floor. They were giving out posters. So I feel like
no poster.
Oh, it was you had to be somebody who was registered for the volume demonstration.
Yeah, you did.
And I tried. I put it on my list. Didn't get it.
How do I have a poster?
From what? The Skeleton Crew? Girl.
They were just handing them out at the.
What?
And you want to know what's even worse is I threw it away at the. It's in the trash can at the Westin.
Hannah, why did you just text me? Ryno, I have this poster. Do you want it?
You guys went to all 3 days. I would have jogged.
I would have jogged
you
over.
You probably got more posters than we did. You going to one day.
I'm not even kidding.
I just was walking by the photo op and they're like, you want a poster? I was like, sure.
If you checked my phone, it says to Brooke where I said, you know, my biggest complaint about this year is we didn't get giveaways in the Honda Center. And if we had, I would have a new Star Wars poster. I would have a Skeleton Crew poster.
Well, if you just had good friends, you would also have.
Yeah. Oops, your tiki mug fell out of my bag on the way home, too.
Oh, true. I know, but that costs money. Shoot. I'll buy one on eBay for you.
All right. Recoup.
What other things do we have on that list?
Okay, so, I mean, I'm just going to go with, next park. I know we've talked about, so we've already talked about Studios, so I'm going to jump to Animal Kingdom now. And Animal Kingdom, I feel like is getting some good things. Not a ton of notes, but I will say I wish that I knew what they were doing with the whole amphitheater for, I don't even remember what that show was called.
Rivers of Light.
Yeah.
So
Off-brand World of Color.
Yes.
Yeah, what are y'all doing with that?
What are y'all doing with that?
What y'all doing with that?
The Springs Drone Show? Put that over there.
Yeah, right? They're quiet.
I saw a post on like a random Disney Facebook group a couple months back where someone was legitimately asking, what is this? And they circled the amphitheater on the map. And it's like this huge footprint on the Animal Kingdom map that like there's no information on it.
Well, you can't sit there during the day. The seats are too high.
Yeah, you're on fire.
From an outside perspective, it's like, yeah, what is that? Like, wild.
Yeah. I saw there was like a really not a zoo. I did
not a Zootopia yet.
Yeah. So I guess I was moving to that. I was hoping for a Zootopia announcement. I thought we were going to get Zootopia
beyond the opening date of a 3D show.
I was thinking we were going to get to land.
What do you think about replacing like Conservation Station? Like the train is like a Hogwarts Express kind of experience moving to Zootopia?
That was my theory. That was my theory. I thought that, and I still think it's going to happen. I still feel in my bones that something is going to happen.
Well, if Zootopia 2 is as big of a hit as Zootopia 1, then I think it could.
Or Inside Out 2. I mean, I feel like it just goes to show like this post-pandemic, you got these pandemic babies now, you got people going to movies more than ever, and we've had this like lull in movies. Inside Out 2 is huge. I didn't predict that. So Zootopia 2 is huge. And Disney loves IP. Disney loves making money. Don't we all?
Well, yeah, if it's huge, I hope there are plans already in place that they're like, we're just literally waiting for that second movie to be good.
We're just now getting a Coco attraction. We're just now getting an
Not here.
Attraction.
Not at Walt Disney World.
Okay, true. The collective we, East and West. But anyways.
At least the dark rides.
I'm surprised we didn't get anything about Reflections, too. The DVC resort.
Yeah, and also Polynesian. Like, there's a lot of updates that come. I mean,
I will say this. The Reflections I'm not as surprised about because I feel like it's... But the Polynesian is, like, well on its way that they weren't even, like, an opening date? Because when that thing where they read through a bunch of opening dates, right?
There is.
There is an opening date.
You can go ahead and book it.
Oh, there already is one.
You can buy a contract there.
Not fanfare.
If on the expo floor, they had some concept art we hadn't seen before that was like the Moana splash pad. and things. What I'm most excited about is supposedly they're getting a restaurant similar to Ama Ama at Alani. So it's going to be like a waterfront restaurant. And
Can we get those rainbow snow cones, those Mickey snow cones, everybody?
Yeah, right? Or the Mickey Masubi?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I want.
Please.
Yeah.
Why not, right? So I was surprised. I'll be honest, I was 50-50 too on if we were going to get a fifth gate.
I also thought about that too. I wrote an article today for WW Info on like the 5 biggest things you're surprised about, and I went back and forth on including a fifth gate because it's dreamt about a lot, but I wasn't fully expecting it. If they did an announcement, it would have been more of a surprise to me.
Right.
I know that they have that thing that they just got approved for a huge land expansion at Disney World, and that could be anything.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, I would want to see more love put into the current 4 theme parks, which we are starting to see with these announcements, as long as they're not replacing things so much, because we need capacity, added capacity.
Right.
But a fifth gate would have been amazing, and I had a small hint of that hope when Villains was announced.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, if Cars is announced for Frontierland, we weren't exactly sure where that was going. I was like, so if Villains is on the horizon and it was like the last thing that they dropped at the very end as a surprise, we knew it was coming though because they talked about it in past events.
Right.
Where is this going? Is this going to be a fifth gate? And now it's like, no, it's going to be, that's the thing beyond Big Thunder Mountain. So now, like, if a fifth gate happens, what could that be?
I don't think we're ever going to get a fifth theme park.
You don't think so? I think they could definitely do it. I think they could definitely do it.
I think we'll see how all these promised projects go right now. And if every one of these parks get to a stellar moment where you're like, every area is stellar. We got rid of that brown spot in every one of these parks. And you're like, okay, well then we have to build another. Sure. Yeah. So maybe like 2040. But I don't think in our young lifetime we're gonna have.
I don't know though, because like we say that, and I'm like, I'm gonna be honest. You compare Disney World, Disneyland to other theme parks out there, we still doing all right. That would be my humble opinion. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. And I hate to say it, but there are some attractions that maybe aren't perfect, but they eat up crowds, and that's a good thing. You know, I gotta be honest too, having a kid, my perspective has changed now. A playground is really valuable to me. Stage show is really valuable to me. Yeah, but you
can add all those to the parks that we already have without building a new one. That's what I'm saying. And so I'm like, you could literally put that inside of Animation Courtyard. It's cheaper than opening a new theme park.
That's true. And because you got to have people, staff.
You got to break ground, everything.
I just need them to actually follow through on that instead of replacing things, because Dinosaur Land, we're losing. I mean, yes, they haven't been taking care of it, and
the land though I've never liked. I'll be 100% honest. I've never liked anything about the land except for the attraction.
Wait, really? What about the Dinoland USA, like the Chester and
the games,
I have no
the
words
thing,
right
I think
now.
they're cheap. I think it's Carnival. I think it's like below Six Flags. I think it is literally like the thing that sets up in a town for a week and then moves on.
Well, that's the point of it. That's the lore.
I guess, but you don't.
Was kind of clever.
I don't want to come to Walt Disney World and have to pay extra to experience a subpar experience.
Have you seen the little sign that says if you're visiting Florida, be sure to visit Epcot in Dinoland? Have you seen that sign?
I don't care.
That's the point
what is
of the
that?
lore.
Is that worth $100 and something ticket? No.
No, the dinosaur is.
Dinosaur the attraction is separate
Kids
from
love
what I'm
those
talking
carnival
about.
games. I've played them now at
We gotta go.
Pixar
next week.
Pier.
No, it's too late. I already did it all. I won them all after COVID because I was worried they were going to get rid of them. So.
She's gotta go.
You can help me because some of them you need like.
I needed help. It was my friend that helped me. So
I'm gonna help Hannah.
But I have them all. They're literally behind me during the show.
I know this is back to Skeleton Crew poster. I will eBay one for you and I will make this right.
He's sad about it. He's so sad about it.
You know the rarest.
I threw it away in that little hotel.
Threw away the Avatar ones. There's
I'm not sad.
In the trash.
I'm furious.
They were handing them out. I'm like,
we have Patreon supporters that probably would have loved it. Or this one employee that was you give it to me first.
I actually love you. I work with him. I have to tell him I love him.
I brought back stuff for Patreon supporters though, specifically, just so they know. It's terrible. The whole land is terrible. The rarest plush that you need to go after.
It's on Dinoland. I can't be part of this.
Okay, which one?
The Daryl, the dinosaur. The raptor. It's Donald's friends throwing the party. Everybody who loves Dinoland and doesn't know anyone's names in it. You guys are posers.
He's not around anymore. You can't get Daryl.
If you can't get the plush, there's no point in doing it. He was the rarest
There's the iguanodon. There's the triceratops. There's the turquoise female one that's the like Dinorama entrance. There's a Mickey and Minnie wearing dinosaur shirts. She's
the
a female.
Cementosaurus?
She's got
lights.
She's got nips?
She do.
I'm like, can I say this right now?
I got nips. Can you milk me?
She's got 6.
So meet the
I got that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, circle of trust right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so you can't get the raptor?
No. Raptor's bingo.
I got the rarest one then. I'm going to hide him from the studio.
You should. Next time my son comes over to the studio, he's for sure taking him.
Yeah, I got them all, and I'm happy I did in the largest size you could get them in, because I was like, you couldn't buy them ever.
Your son?
No, he doesn't even like them, and he keeps them in the studio for us to take.
I do like them. I just don't have them in my
Welcome to
house.
Tap House Talks with Chloe and Hannah. We're taking over now because we love Dinoland more than Ryno does.
Give us your hot takes, sassy man.
I already told you that whole area was a waste of space. The only
Okay,
thing
well, what else do you want?
The only
What do
thing.
you want? What do you want to replace it?
I want them
Tony
to leave.
Stark?
I want
Are we
them
gonna
to
do
leave.
this again?
I want them to leave the dinosaur attraction alone, but then build whatever they're going to build. But there should still be a museum. Indiana Jones. It should be in a museum. A dinosaur museum? Yeah, honey, a dinosaur museum.
Okay. So you want
You ever been to the Field Museum where Sue was actually kept?
I want to
have.
go with you. I want to go with you next time you go to Chicago. Okay, sure.
And also, Sue was way bigger than she is at Animal Kingdom. They shrunk that baby down. She's a big girl. She's thick.
Yeah.
But that was an experience. The Field Museum also makes their own gin, vodka, and bourbon.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, it's
wow.
weird.
What a smart business, Disney, as we sit here at Tap House Talks.
I'm losing it.
Anyway, all right. Well, did we have anything else, or was that it?
I mean, that was it for me for the parks. Anything else?
For the parks?
Land
what else did you want?
We already talked about kind of.
No ABDs.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't really ever talk about ABD, but it was still one of those things where, like, the Disney Cruise Line thing was very brief. But it was, I thought maybe there'd be some of the housing stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Story living,
If they're trying to sell these homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But I guess
true.
they don't
That's
have to. Is there a wait list that's full?
Well, no, they had a pavilion at the on the show floor, so you could go and you could like get added to a wait list and you can get more information. But they're building in Palm Springs and outside of Raleigh, North Carolina.
I didn't know they were building in Palm Springs.
Well, it's Cotino, the first one.
Yeah.
See, I want to move to
Yeah.
Palm Springs.
I
That's
do
my
too.
like. If you were to move into California and they'd be like, "Oh, near Disney," and I'm like, "Yeah, but not really." And I'm like, "Palm Springs is a city that gays own."
Oh, well, can I move in?
I think is the dinosaur from Pee Wee Herman there? No.
What?
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
dinosaur.
that's in
That's not Palm Springs.
it's the Corazon dinosaurs.
Yeah. Anyway, what else did you want? Anything else before we close this out?
What else do you want right now?
Yeah,
Are you done?
I want this episode to be over. I think I'm done.
Okay. I think
Wow.
we're done too.
No. I'm,
Tune in next week. It'll just be us.
I am
Still sitting here.
very excited to attend D23
well,
again
you
in
should
the
tell
future.
your face because
No,
it
we are
doesn't
too.
look like
I'm excited for Destination D23 because I feel like there's little things that are announced that weren't announced in the big one, and of course, like
Sure, you
Parks
can
blog
have
post, D23 isn't the only place that they announce big announcements. So who knows what's to come in the future? We'll all just have to wait and see in our patient little doom buggies. So
that was very
How
good.
about the Haunted Mansion? You feel me?
I'm good with that, girl. I do think Destination
Ryno's so fed up.
D23. Why? I mean, look at you wearing the Miss Piggy shirt.
Yeah, but you guys are delusional if you think they're going to build two of the same attraction.
Delusional? Did you expect a Monsters
It doesn't
Land?
have to
Did
be
you
a
expect a
Doom
Cars
buggy.
Land and Frontierland?
Do we have a Cars Land? Do we have a Monsters Land? We have them. We already have a Muppets,
announced.
and we already have a
They're
Haunted Mansion.
moving Earth, okay? Daddy
Someone's
Josh told us.
They are not going to have
they
a
kicked a
Muppets
couple of
Haunted
rocks
Mansion
around
ride.
and
You
it's
Margarita
thought they
with
were
some
going to make
salt
a
there?
Muppets Haunted Mansion ride?
No, that's what I dream of. That's my ultimate like wish list thing.
You know who also
Get
had a
rid of
dream?
Haunted Mansion and
Walt
make it a
Disney.
Muppet?
No, a temporary overlay, just like Haunted
okay,
Mansion Holiday.
Yeah. Listen,
Okay,
I'll tell
that's
you.
fine.
Muppets
I
to
agree
your
with that.
scenes.
That's
Can I
fine.
tell you
Easy.
this for free? One thing I forgot to mention. Where's Bluey? Where is Bluey? We had a Bluey
He
and
was in
bingo.
the Disney Plus
sheet.
pavilion. Oh,
Meeting
she.
and
Sorry,
greeting, but then like after that,
Yeah, we did a meet and greet there. Where's the meet and greet here? Where is, okay, let's say if you're not going to put...
Where's the TARDIS? Why isn't it in the UK pavilion?
Nobody cares about that. Why are we talking about Monsters Inc. coming to Animator's Courtyard and we're not talking
Animator's
about Bluey
Courtyard?
taking
Never
over?
heard of
Okay, sorry, my bad. You nerd.
She's a travel agent.
I am. I'll book you. Yeah, I'll book you to the Bluey experience.
I'll book you at the Disney World. At the Disney World.
It's in New Zealand. Yeah. Why aren't we getting Keepy Uppy? Why aren't we getting all of that?
The house, just the house.
Yeah, the house.
What's Keepy Uppy?
Listen, you need to watch.
You need to watch Bluey.
Yeah. Your soul needs
Don't roll your eyes. I'll send you a few. We'll send you a compiled list of cute episodes that you need to watch, please.
And with that, I took my last sip of my beer, and this episode is over.
Ryno's done.
Thank you, everybody, for your continued support. Thank you, Hannah and Chloe, I guess, for being here. I'm just kidding.
We love you, Ryno.
It's interesting.
I'm glad I threw away that poster. I'd throw it away again if I had one right here. I'd spit my cheese sauce on it, and I'd throw it away.
Yeah.
That's good.
The DIS Unlimited is now one employee.
It's me.
Thank you for having this
conversation. I'm so brand new.
Good point. It's you.
First one in, first one out, honey.
Dang.
So, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, Chloe and Hannah, for having this conversation and being so passionate, because it is scary to me. Yeah, I am afraid of you, and that says a lot. If you like the video,
men in my life need to be in the fear zone. Thank you.
I agree. It's 2024, baby. The future is female.
It is female.
So,
yes.
If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave some conversation recommendations for the future. I'll definitely have different people on. And maybe they'll come back. I don't know.
Wait, this is your camera. We don't have to come with it.
Yeah. Don't you dare touch this. This is the property of the DIS Unlimited. This is my personal camera.
You think so, Tim? That's
no. If you, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, rate and review the podcast.
I'm going to use my ring to... I'm going to review this one for sure. Bye.
Bye.
I'm not done talking. You guys are just talking over me. Bye.
Get out of here.
Anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you out there. Don't forget about Dreams Unlimited Travel. When booking your next vacation, there are many other travel agents besides Hannah, and a lot of other articles to read besides the ones that Chloe writes. So don't forget about all of those people out there.
Teresa's an expert.
I'd like to say there are other videos that Ryno doesn't do, but there aren't. So it's just me. I am so sorry about that.
He really is sorry.
I am.
Look at that sad face.
Yeah, the comments actually make me cry when I go to sleep. But anyway, this has been great. Goodbye, everybody.